So this is why Tim Walz is completely cooked. So if you don't know, yesterday with all the stuff in Minnesota was a big distraction, but the House of Representatives had, I think it was, I want to say 8 whistleblowers come in, and pretty much all of them said that what he's doing is fraud. This is damning evidence to Tim Walz. If you got several witnesses coming in and testifying that they worked for you, and there's proof, and they're all saying that it's fraud, and they all have the similar stories behind it, how it was handled, they were threatened, blah blah blah. All this stuff comes together and it shows that they're not coercing against Tim Walz. They are workers, and they had to follow, pretty much commit illegal things and knowing about it, and they couldn't do nothing because they were blackmailed. So let's go ahead and watch this interview. But I just want to say, this is why he's doing what he's doing. Tim Walz, he's cooked. He is going to prison soon. I promise you, he's going soon. I really, 100% think he's going to jail.
I want to start with you, Mr. Balu. Again, thank you for being here. Let me ask you, does large-scale Somali immigration make Minnesota stronger or weaker?
Certainly stronger.
Certainly stronger. Do you know what percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on food stamps?
No.
54%. Do you know what that number is for native Minnesota-headed households?
Well, to be clear, a majority of the...
It's 7%. There's a big difference between 54% and 7%, is there not?
Excuse me, sir, could I answer the question?
Let me move on. We've got a lot of questions.
How are you going to sit there and say, yeah, Somalians make Minnesota a great place to live at? Do you know how many immigrants are there? Nope. Do you know how many are working? Nope. Do you know how many are on welfare? Nope. Like, how are you going to sit here and say Somalians make this place greater when you have no proof of them improving the state at all? No proof. Freaking 54% of them are on welfare. And that's crazy.
Percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on food stamps?
Certainly stronger.
Certainly stronger. Do you know what percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on food stamps?
No.
54%. Do you know what that number is for? Let me move on. We've got a lot of questions here. What percentage of Somali-headed households in Minnesota are on Medicaid?
I don't know.
It's 73%. Do you know what that number is for
73?
Minnesota native households?
Again, you're using the phrase Minnesota native households, but the majority...
The number is 18%. That's
Crazy.
Quite an astounding.
So, all these Somalians are coming in, right? And 54% of them are on food stamps. And then 72% of them are on Medicaid. That's wild. That's crazy. That's like the majority of them are on, we're paying for it. That's what he's showing right here. And this guy, I don't know if he's a witness or not, but he looks dumb. Like, what are you saying if they improve Minnesota, but yet all of them are on welfare? You're taking care of them. They're not improving crap.
Difference. I think we would agree.
Can I answer the question, please?
Let me ask you one more, and then we can go on to that. What percentage of Somali-headed households are on welfare in general?
I don't know.
It's 81%. What about,
I don't know.
Let me just ask you, after 10 years of being in the United States, what percentage of Somali immigrant households continue to be on welfare?
I don't know.
The number is 78%.
That is freaking
So even after
crazy,
10
bro.
years, 78% of Somali immigrant households continue to be on welfare. Do you know what that number is for native Minnesota-headed households?
Again, you're using the phrase...
Non-Somali immigrant-headed households.
If I can just answer the question, when you're using the phrase native Minnesotans, the majority of Somali Minnesotans are as Minnesotan as any of us. They were born in the United States. It's
Brother, they came over here and repopulated here. That's not generations of people being here. They literally came here and started multiplying. Well, I guess it could be a couple generations. And the newer ones may be native, if you could consider it that. But no, a lot of them are coming in right now. It's like they're being imported. Well, not anymore because of Trump, but when Biden was in office, they were coming in like crazy. So yes, there's probably a lot of new immigrants there. A lot of them.
only 8,000 of the 108,000 Somalis.
And nevertheless, the welfare usage is astoundingly different. Let me ask you again, does that make Minnesota stronger or weaker?
Again, I'd like the opportunity to answer the question here.
Go for
so, again, the majority of Somali Minnesotans are born in the United States, as I understand it.
Okay, well, what percentage of working-age Somalians who have been in the U.S. for 10 years or more, How many of them speak English very well?
I don't know.
About half.
It's just so he doesn't know anything. They're dumb. All of them are dumb over there. They're stupid people running the state. The Somalis make this place great. Can you show proof? I don't know. Do you know what this? I don't know. This dude just I don't know. He should have just answered that with an I don't know. That would have solved everything. But nope. He has to say yes because he has to go back home to his probably crazy left-wing family.
Mr. Hudson, thank you for being here. Did those who commit this fraud, do they typically vote for Republicans or Democrats, in your opinion?
In my opinion, thank you for qualifying it like that, I would say they most definitely overwhelmingly vote for Democrats.
Do they typically donate to Republicans or Democrats?
Not to my knowledge. They
your
don't
opinion?
donate to Republicans, they donate to Democrats, in my opinion, yes.
Got it. So would you say this is the Somali population is an important demographic for Democrats to win over politically?
Unquestionably.
Got it. And do you think it would have hurt Democrats' political standing with the Somali population to investigate this fraud?
Very clearly.
Got it. So in other words, you're saying that there was a political incentive to cover up widespread Somali fraud. Is that right?
100%.
Got it. Let me ask all.
They bought votes, guys. They bring these people in, give them money for votes so they can stay in power. It's crazy. It's and they were saying that the 2020 elections were fair, and if you try to look into it, you're a bad person. You could be banned on platforms. I remember that. That was crazy.
All three of you. Did the Walz administration and Democrats intentionally, in your opinion, overlook this fraud while it was happening for political gain? I'll start with you, Ms. Robbins.
Absolutely. We have credible whistleblower reports that the Department of Human Services Administration, up to the OIG and the commissioner, met with a group called the Minnesota Minority Child Care Association multiple times, and that they were trying to weaken protections. We wanted...
Right.
We had several changes we wanted to do, and they opposed all of them.
And Mr. Hudson and Ms. Rarick, and then my time is up.
It blew the case wide open with these whistleblowers because when you have like people who work there and they've seen it from behind the scenes and they're all saying the same thing, that's damning for anybody.
Deputy U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson, serving the District of Minnesota, has said that he could keep 1,000 prosecutors busy, but he's limited to a mere 25, only 5 of which are tasked with building fraud cases. He estimates that the total amount of criminal fraud over 5 years may reach $9 billion, which is fully one half of the money that has been directed to these programs by the state.
That's so crazy, dude.
While Governor Tim Walz and other stakeholders dispute that assessment, the point I wish to emphasize is this. Whatever the actual number is, the full scope of the problem is not just criminal fraud, but a culture of profiting from government programs in perpetuity, not as a safety net, but as an industry. I've personally met and had discussions with folks who identify themselves as consultants for multiple entities accepting government benefits. They have made a career out of showing people how to leverage the gaps in government oversight to maximize benefit payments.
So they sat there and taught the Somalians how to commit fraud. And if he has evidence, he's under oath, and I believe he has evidence. This is damning to Tim Walz, man. And I think these people they're probably Democrats too. These people that are sitting here, they're not hardcore Republicans, but they just have a conscience and they don't think this is right, and he should be held accountable for it. Like I said, I feel like when the elections come up in 2028, it's going to be a Republican and an independent. I think the Democrats are just too far gone. Nobody even wants to be represented by them anymore.
Thank God for President Donald J. Trump for finally bringing attention to this issue. Representative Rarick, I'm going to begin with you. You've been working on this issue for years. You've spoken to the whistleblowers personally. Is that correct?
That is correct.
You have an understanding that 1,000 whistleblowers running an account on X have come forward to expose fraud in Minnesota state agencies, and they have been entirely ignored by Tim Walz and have even been retaliated against. Is that accurate?
That is correct. Even this morning, I got another message.
Well, in your experience, are their claims credible or are they politically motivated against Walz?
They're completely credible, not politically motivated.
In fact, many of these are Walz administration employees, correct?
They are actually Democrats as well.
Can you quickly give us one example of the retaliation these folks have been facing?
Yes, I can. In my opening statement, I mentioned that the most severe ones was that they would be fired with cause, so they couldn't have unemployment insurance, that they would be blacklisted from all state agencies, and I bet that it's also Hennepin County and Ramsey County, as you know, those are Democrat-run, and much, much more.
Based on what you've learned, Representative, over the last several years, do you have any doubt that Governor Tim Walz knew about this fraud as it was occurring?
He absolutely knew that it was occurring.
Thank you. The housing stability
There you go.
occurring.
Like I said, and she said she even got a threatening text this morning from a government agency to probably not go in there, and she did anyway. So, like I said, they if you tried to speak out against Tim Walz, you would be silenced. They would threaten you to take away your job, blacklist you. That's such a horrible thing to do to somebody if they're trying to like show the truth and like even speak out of line. That this freaking goofy goober would come to your office and threaten you. The corruption is going to get exposed, and everybody's gonna get their justice. It's gonna happen soon, and I can't wait to see it.